Oh, okay. So here we are again. We're making more stateful command tree stuff using Bonsai, RWX Rob slash Bonsai Bonzai. If you want to go to the GitHub and see about it right now. But what I've been needing is I've been needing to make a utility for creating stateful command trees easily. So it's like sort of like a tool to write the tools, right? And so we're going to call it Bon, and I'm going to go ahead and go for it. We're going to work straight through for at least 48 minutes. This will probably take a little bit longer than that. I don't know. But why would you watch this video? This video, if you don't know how to start a Go project, then we do this here. If you don't know how to start a bonsai project and you want to make a bonsai to go stateful command tree tool or utility or something, we're going to be doing that. And there's another video on this, by the way. We did another one the other day. We did a filter, a basic filter. It took us kind of a while, but every time I do one of these, they're usually digestible, small things so that I can put them out there and you can watch them if you want to get good with making your own tooling. Uh, I created Bonsai to replace a ton of shell scripts mostly that I don't like, and I just want to have a single binary that I can put anywhere and have it just work. And I went to go make some extra stuff today, and I realized that it was going to be really nice for me to have a tool to like initialize a new Bonsai branch. So here's edit the next. I'm just me working on my keg thing. And I realized when I wrote this, I was like, oh, okay, so this is all the stuff that you need, uh, to start out, right? I mean, the basic template, right? So I want to make a command, like a Z command or a bone command or something. So I can just do bone and then just do a template and, use it as kind of like a snippets tool, right? Now, I could make a generic snippets tool. I thought about that. I thought about having it be, this is Golang. I thought about having a generic snippets tool, so you can just do snip and then, add a snip and then, go in there and just pull your snippets in as you go, which is really cool. You can do that for sure. That's definitely a thing that you might want to do. But I am thinking that, in addition to having a snippets tool, which I probably will do eventually as well, because I have that in I have a bash script for managing my snippets already. I don't use plugins for any of these things because I use Unix. I'd rather use a Unix command than some, proprietary, specifically dependent plugin, whether it be NeoVim or whatever your favorite IDE is. I would rather just have code that uses Unix philosophy, and that's my approach. Not everybody likes that, but that's the way I go. So, but in this particular case, I'm thinking, okay, I definitely want a command for dealing with initializing bonsai branches and bonsai tooling and stuff like that. And I thought about calling it bonsai, and then that's going to conflict with the other bonsai branch that I already have. I mean, you have bonsai tool name. I already have a tool for that for the library. And I thought, well, I could put the command inside of the bonsai library, and I'm like, no, that's probably not a good idea because then when I have to increment the version of that command tool, that's going to force an increment in the version of the overall repo. So I thought, man, this really probably needs to be its own its own bonsai branch, and so I'm going to go through all the steps of that and what that requires. But the goal here is to create a new bonsai branch called Bon that creates one thing. It creates right now. All it's going to do is it's going to take a Go template that I'll provide, and it's going to maybe take some commands or something, and it's going to fill it in, and it's going to generate this code, right? So that when I'm editing a VI, I can just do bang bang z z bon cmd enter, and it will put all this stuff in there, right? And it'll dump all of this in, and I won't have to cut and paste it from someplace else, and in fact, it could probably even instantiate a next.md file inside of the descriptions directory so that I can go in there and write my nice cozy happy descriptions in Bonsai Mark, which is templated markdown, and that then all becomes part of my command. So stuff like this. This is like the help for the Z command itself, right? Or the keg command. If I just do the keg enter, you can see all the help. So all this help documentation is all written in the markdown files that are here inside of the descriptions. In fact, let me show you this main one. So here's the markdown. This is the markdown file, the Bonsai Mark file that contains the documentation that gets embedded inside of the binary and travels with it, so that anytime anybody wants any help, they can just do keg help, and they get all of that, right? And then if they just want the description, they could just do description, and it will just give them only the description. It'll render it for them. And so this is kind of that's, I've done other videos on what stateful command trees are and all of that, so I'm not going to talk about that a lot. But so if you're watching, that's what we're going to do. And so we have hopefully 43 minutes to initialize a new Go project, to set it up as a bonsai command, stateful command tree, or branch, whatever one you want to call it. And it's a tree if it's the top, right? If it's a branch, if it's being composed into another bonsai branch or another bonsai tree, which is, recursive. And then we're going to make one command, and I don't know what we'll name it, probably CMD, bon CMD, or bon command. Actually, no. Can I say the word bon to my phone? I always test this because I create stateful conversational command line interfaces, and the words that I pick, if I can't speak them into my phone, I don't use them, because I want to be able to use my command line interfaces from my phone indirectly if I wanted to as a chatbot or something. And if my phone doesn't know it, bon. No, it said bon. Damn it. Let me try it. Let me say it like a Frenchie. Bon. Bon. Nope, it did. Damn it. What else could I do? It's not, it doesn't like those words. I'm still going to use bon, but I want to say bon. What if I did bonbon? Bonbon. All right, I'm going to try again. Bonbon. Oh, it did that one. Okay. It knows bonbon. How about that? I guess I have to say it like an American. I have to say it like an American, or my phone doesn't know what I'm saying. Okay. Bon. Okay, it got that one. It got it. Good. That means it's a valid term. All right. So bon, bon. I'm going to call it bon, I guess. I have to start like Bonnie, right? All right. So bon. In French, it's bon. But, okay, so let's do that. Sorry, I'm just trying to think about some of the things. Okay, so let's enough is enough. I mean, let me abandon that one for a second, and we're going to clear this screen out and clear this screen out. So stateful command trees. I'm going to close this window too. We're actually going to close all of TMUX temporarily because I'm going to be reinitializing from a new location. So let's go into our GitHub repo. So step 1, make a GitHub. Get a GitHub account. If you don't have that, you got to have it, right? Step 2, decide how to organize your directories and stuff. I put everything under repos and github.com, and then under RDBX Rob, because I have sites all over the place. Okay, step 3, download GH, the GH tool, GitHub command line tool, and use that to create your repo. Much faster than anything else. GH repo create. Create a repo from scratch, repository name, bon. Description, we're going to put a little tree in here. A little deciduous tree, and we're going to call it, let's see, bonsai, let's see, tool for, I don't know, for bonsai state. How about this? Create and manage bonsai stateful command trees. There we go. Syntax highlighting. I'm not using anything. I don't use zshell. Zshell sucks. Create and manage bonsai stateful command trees. Zshell is objectively inferior to Bash on every count. Would you like to use a .get ignore? No. I'm using Bash, the default. Would you like to add a license? Yes. Apache. Okay, then we can say this will create Bon as a public repository. Yes. Repository creation failed. Do I already have one called Bon? I must already have one. Oh, I do. Look at that. Look at that. I already made one. Damn. Okay, so pretend I did all those steps. What did I put in here though? I don't even know. So this is good. It's like already done. Well, don't worry. We'll go over and do it again. Oh my God. I already started it. This is my memory. I have no memory of anything. Go build, go dist, go distribution related stuff. Did I put my go dist stuff in here already? I guess I did. Go build, go dist, go build parameters. Go dist build. The build looks for the build.yaml file. No, you know what? I already wrote this someplace else. Damn it. Did I already rewrite all this? I must have done this. This stuff is all in another program called Good. Oh my God, I think I rewrote it. I do. I think I rewrote it. Let me go check. Wait, we're going to tmux in here. So tmux, we're going to start tmux from here. I take that back. Let's do this. Let's do, yeah, tmux here. And then we're going to make a new one. And let me close this one because that one doesn't have a border. And we're going to make a new one here. You know what? I think I did. I think I did do it. I think I did it. Yeah, I do. Go dist build target. Go Windows. It looks like I think I wrote all of this code twice. I think I wrote all of this code twice. I do. I think I look at the YAML build file. Absolute path join preserve revert if missing. I wrote all of this from scratch. Yeah, I did. I already had another one. I already had another. I forget things. Okay, so look, I already had this one completely done, and I wrote another one. Which one's better though, huh? So building for blah blah blah, set environment arch blah 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 blah, blah remove all of this. Okay. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna need this in here because I already have this in the other one. This is more of a Go thing though. This doesn't really belong in Bon because, yeah, it doesn't really belong here. So anyway, we're gonna do this from scratch. Maximum provides a Bonzai command branch of the same name. I mean, you know what we did? We did this one from this was like a templated thing. Yeah. So, and it has a contributing license agreement and everything like that. So, I mean, you know what? Let's go ahead and go through the steps so just so you know. Okay. So let's pretend like none of this is here. In fact, we can do that. We can say make directory old. We can move all of that into old, except for .git. So we'll move old/.git to here again, and so that we don't lose our Git repo, right? So this is the same thing as if you're gonna do it. Let's go. So go mod init, and it says, okay, I need to do a thing. Go mod init github.com rwxrob/ball, and go mod tidy. We'll pull down the go mod thing. So now we have a go directory, and you can go look at the go mod file, and you've got your 1.18 or whatever your default is. I like 18. I don't use anything before 18 because 18 has generics and all the other great stuff. And then what? We're gonna create it from scratch. So every command has a command. I mean, every package has a. This doesn't, but every package should have a package directory. I'm gonna move old to .old so it's not in the way. All right, so we need to have a package directory. So let's do that. So let's make let's just edit a file called ball.go, and then we're gonna change this name to be ball. All right, and that's just doesn't have any of this, but this is like for all the top level kinds of things, right? So, I mean, we could like kind of guess that we're gonna have a function called what should we call it? Should we say, what should we say? Should we say we want one called a ball.command? So we should say, we should probably have some sort of name that's unique, like template command or something. Stub, how about that? Stub command, stub cmd. We'll say stub cmd, stub whatever, and that'll return a string, and it takes some number of arguments. We don't know how many yet. And then we'll say stub stub command returns returns a command, returns a string containing the Go code for to begin writing a Bonzai CMD struct. Okay, so that's what it is. And we'll put a template in here and all of that jazz. You know, we could probably start doing it right now, but we'll come back to it. We just need something, right? So this is going to be our stub. So return blank for now. I'm going to put a to-do to remind myself to come back to it. There we go. We got our first package. So that's actually a package. That's actually a Python package. I mean, sorry, Golang package, and that does stuff. Now what? We need to make it into a command. So how do we make it into a Bonzai command? Well, we're gonna make a command.go file, and this is the thing that would be nice to be able to write. Right? I want a command so I could just run it and have it do it, but so package again, just the package ball, but now we have the standard stuff when creating a Bonzai command. So we have var CMD, always CMD. It has to be that exact name. That's just conventional, equals, and then we're going to take a reference to a z.cmd. This is Bonzai, and there's our struct. Right, that is the minimum necessary for a command. Now, you probably want a name in there, right? So let's call the name bon, and you have to have a comma even if you don't have anything else. So that is a command. That is literally the minimum necessary for a command. It's my editor's having trouble because it's looking really hard for a Z. You can't find it. So let's go import it. So we have to import Bonzai. So we're going to import github.com rdvxraw Bonzai /z, and that will come on guys. That will give it to us there. So that's it. That's the minimum necessary for a command. Now this command doesn't do anything, but and it doesn't have any help built into it. Right now it's just a command with no help built into it. But even so, let's see if we can try it without the help first. So now the next thing we need is we need an actual command to compile to go with our command, structure. So we make a directory called CMD, and then we make a directory called CMD/bon to match them. That's going to become directory name, and Go becomes the name of by default of the output. You don't have to do -o when you do a build. You can just use the directory name. Oops. mkdir. And then we're going to use the conventional main.go as the name, main.go. And then we have our main, right? And it gave us, vimgo gave me what I needed. And we're going to come over here and we're going to say, this is all we need, actually. So we just need, we're going to need to do the import. It'll do it automatically, actually. It should, anyway. So we need to do bon.cmd.run. And this is why we needed to have the CMD name be the same, right? So this import, that is it. That is all you need in your executable if you do this right. And that's the reason it's so amazing, because it just imports everything. So we can actually test the build here. So go install, otherwise GOI, I use GOI, /command ball. And I do that, and I'm like, oh, we got to go get it. Okay, so go get, we can just do a go get -u. Go get -u is easier to type. It's not always safe to do that, though, because it does upgrade everything. You may not necessarily want to upgrade all of your stuff. In my case, I don't know. So this brings in all of the dependencies. Most of these are because Bonzai depends on the other pieces. And so we'll go for that. Now we can try that again. So go install.cmd bon. And now we can run bon. So bon requires either call or commands. So that's just a warning because it doesn't know what to do, right? It actually made a binary, but the binary has nothing to do. So this is how you make your command into something, right? You have to give it something to do. So let's just give it a command. So let's do commands. We're going to compose in a command, And so we're going to compose in a reference to a command, as you command. This is a collection of commands. And the first one we're going to do is help.cmd. Okay. That is, we're going to go grab it, and it's automatically injects it. And now when I build again, it will inject the help command branch into this one. And now it should have it, but now I have to go get it. So go get -u, and then I'll go get the help command and go redo our build. And now when I do boom, I get better help, right? Because the help has been added, and it's like, oh, hey, this is what you need. At least it has a command, but the command doesn't do anything. That's the only command is help, and it just doesn't say anything. But at least it shows us the name. And I wonder what happens if I take the name out. I haven't done that before. Let's try it. I'm just trying to see if it'll break. It probably will break, yeah. Wait, where's my command? Bomb. Oh no, error, name is empty. Okay, well, it still ran. That's fun. So, all right, so let's put it back. There we go. Now, we need a summary. What did I put for the other one? I'm going to cheat. What did I put for the other one? Oopsie daisy. What did I put for the other one? I don't remember. I guess I'm gonna cheat. I did not realize I had an official Bonsai helper utility. The official. Okay, fine. Why do I have to put TMs and things? I guess I don't want people to take my my thing. I don't think it even needs to be capital either. Bonsai helper utility. I don't need to make such a big deal about it. All right, what else do we need? We need a description. We're going to need a big old description. So we're going to actually make an embedded document for the description. Check it. So we do go :embed. Yeah. And then we're going to do descriptions / we'll just say help.md for the main one. And then we're going to make it into a string. So wouldn't it be nice if I could just have all of this just generate automatically, right? Because I do these a lot. I make them a lot. So we could do var help doc. How about that? Help doc. I'm not going to capitalize anymore. I don't like capitalizing. It's too hard to type. String. And so we have our summary. And now our description. Our description equals help doc. This won't compile right now because there is no help doc there, right? So, but we're starting to get there. Our command still doesn't do anything. We're just scaffolding this. This is the thing I'd like to be able to do from a command really quickly. And that's why we're doing it. So let's make a directory called descriptions. Should we call it descriptions or DESC? I was thinking about just calling it description, DESC. I think I should probably just call it DESC. Yeah. I think it should probably be DSC. It's easier to type. And especially if we're going to codify it. Right? So DSC is the descriptions. And so inside of our description, we can make a new file and call it, what do we say? Help.md. All right. So then we can use Bonsai Mark, and you got to learn this, but there's a few, it's a Golang template, and there's a command there's a template variable called AKA. And that will do, if it has an alias, it will put the name and the aliases in parentheses. Otherwise, it'll just do the name. Command contains, let's see, we'll say branch, because it's kind of a branch. Branch contains helper commands for scaffolding and for creating and managing Bonsai stateful command branches in Go. Yeah. I mean, I guess that's fine. So, I mean, that's it. So that's our help doc, right? So, I mean, we can add more docs and we can come back to it later. And so what? So let's actually try our build now. Where's our build? Go install. There it is. Oh, I need the embed directory. That's right. This is one that it doesn't get automatically injected because it's a side effect import. So you have to do the underscore means just in, put this in here, right? So we have to do embed. We have to tell it we want to use the embed. Otherwise, it doesn't know about it because it's not being directly imported, so it doesn't know. So that's like one of the ones you have to actually type in. The other stuff won't do it. And now when we run Bo, we hit enter. Hey, look, we have a description. And the description got filled out for us. We could put an alias. Let's do that. Let's do an alias. Aliases. And we can make them, there's a bunch of strings. Okay. Bonzai. I mean, that's an alias. I just want them to see that that's what it stands for. Bond enter. So now we say, see there's the alias. So it puts an aliases directory thing, and then it's the alias down here. All right, so we're good to go. We've actually created our first tree, and we're ready to add some actual work to it. And we can go from there. So yeah, we have this. What else do we need? We need to have, okay, so it's actually doing this command. Now, if we wanted it to have a default command, we would put call here. And call is where the work gets done, right? And a call is a first class function. So it's a function that takes the name it takes a reference to a Z command, the caller, and it takes a list of optional arguments that are passed from the command line. And it returns an error. And return null. Now you have to put a comma after this because it's in here. And then this is where we can put some stuff in here. We can present would run whatever, right? So this is the basic. So this is the basic structure of a Bonzai command. Now there's lots more you can add in here. You can add version and history and everything, and you can go look at that. But this is a basic one, right? And so now we can just do cmd. Bon, and whoopsie. Oh, whoops. Slash. You got to have the dot in there. It won't work. So then we say bon, enter, and it said would run whatever. You see that? That's because we put a call in. If you put a call in, that becomes the default, right? I can still do the help, but now it's explicit. Now I have to actually explicit do it. If I don't have a call method, then whatever the first method in commands is becomes a default, right? So those two things are the same. Now, it's not really necessary for me to have a call in here. So, because honestly, the bone command itself is more of a branch itself. It's going to be containing top level stuff for other commands. And so we're going to break that out into another command. This is where having a tool would be nice, right? So I can just yank all this and just put it here for the next one. But let's say we want another command. So let's say we want maybe the CMD or like Bond CMD or Bond template or Bond. I'm going to be typing it a lot. So, and I can do shortcuts. It's another thing too. I can add shortcuts if I don't. So when you're designing your command line trees, it's important that you have, it's more important that you have good organization up front, even if it's long, because you can add shortcuts later to your monolith or to anything else. You can add shortcuts so that if you want to name it something else to get straight to it, you can do that, right? That's how we get around the problem of that's addressed with dashes and stuff like that in GetUp land. So what is this command that we want to do down here, right? This command is, what are we going to call it? Well, let's call it, we know what I want to do. I want to create a command when I print this. I want this to be a command. So I'm actually going to call it the command. Now, by convention, all of your vars end with CMD just as a convention. And if it's lowercase, that means that other people cannot import this command specifically. That means if they wanted to import your Bonzai command branch, they'd have to import the top one, and then they would get everything, right? So they would compose in this case, bon.cmd, and they would get the bon command in their monolith, in their stateful command tree. And they would, and all the other commands would come with it, right? But if you make this public, they can actually individually import it. So they could just import Bonsai .cmd, and they're totally independent of one another. So if somebody just wanted one of your sub command branches from your command tree, they could import that exact one if they wanted to, right? If you export it. So if you export it, and it's, that's the way you would go about doing it. So maybe somebody just, I don't know, should I export it or should I not? Should I make them use the whole command branch thing so they understand, or should I make it so that they can use the command, right? If they import this, they would import bon.cmd, and then they would get a command called cmd, right? And what would that do? It would dump out a command, right? But it wouldn't have the context of being inside of bon. If I make it like this, then they would always get bon space cmd. That would be what they would be. Bon space cmd would be the thing that they would be importing. So I think I'm going to make them import the whole thing, because I don't want people, building. I mean, they can, right? And that's the other thing too, is that they could actually rename it to something else if they wanted to, if you export it. But if you want to lock people down that are using your bonsai branches or importing them to taking your whole command tree with it, the rest of it, I mean, they're going to get all the code anyway, right? Because this is all part of the same thing. So it's not like they're saving space unless you put each one of these commands in its own package in a subdirectory, which you could do. And if you did that, then it would only take your binary size would only grow the total amount necessary to take in those individual packages, because they're all independently statically compiled. They'll independently compiled, and then they're static linked into the main binary. But in this case, we want to, when they import it, we want them to import all of it, right? So we'll call this command. In fact, I'm going to say command, because again, I need to be able to speak the command line. So this would be bon. It would be bon command. So if I'm going to say it, I'd say z bon command, and that would return that stuff. So I am going to give it some aliases, of course, though. So we'll do a cmd will be the alias. And what is this going to say? We could say this is going to be what do we say? Well, we already wrote that in our function. Where's our function? Where's our function? Did I delete the function? Oh, bon.go. Bon.go. So bon.go returns a string containing the Go string to begin writing a bonsai command struct. Returns a string to begin writing bonsai command struct. That sounds easier, right? Let's see. Okay, let's see. Okay, I'm going to put that in my docs. Yeah, okay, so code for bonsai print. Do we want print or output? Output code for, I think you should just say print. Print or output, I don't know, I guess. Print code for bonsai command. For new bonsai command. All right, so I guess that's it. We have help documentation here as well. I don't probably need this as a separate thing, but I'm going to anyway. And we could almost like bundle that, but I don't know if I want to do that. Harder to read that way. Yeah, we could just bring in the whole entire file system, actually. No, because then I'd have to, that's harder. Anyway, so go embed. We're going to say this is going to be command. Command doc. Command doc. And we have a help. And this is actually going to have a call. So, all right. Now we need to link this one in to the other one, right? So how do we compose it in? This is the part I always forget. We just need to put it over here. So we need to put command cmd. And that doesn't need a comma if it's like that. If we wrap it, we will. So now it's composed. So now we have a branch with one command in it. And we can compile that, right? So let's actually go ahead and write the doc for this. So wait, did I put the long? Okay. So description command.go. Did I do that? Did I do that go? That was dumb. MD. Okay, so the aka command prints the Go code to create a new Bonzai CMD. Now I could probably get crazy and do pre-formatting on this. There is no pre-formatting backticks. You know what? I think I could support backtick now, actually. I think I can, now that it's in a separate file. I couldn't do it before. Wow, I think I can. I'm going to have to add that. Because just yesterday I put all of this stuff into their separate embedded files, but before this, these backticks would have got in trouble. They would become a problem because the backticks couldn't be inside of the other backticks. Yeah. So I just fixed the problem I was having. So that's great because then I don't need to get crazy with it. Okay. Prints to Go command to create a new Bonzai command. And we'll update this as we go. So Goi CMD mom. So bon tab. Okay, we don't have completion yet, so let's activate that. Complete dash capital C bon. We got our bon. There it is. So bon tab, and now I get my help completion. I can show all my stuff. Here's my help, and it has my command with the aliases. If I want to get help about the command itself, I can do tab on that. I can actually do cm tab, d tab, and then it would expand and do help on that. Now, if I want help display somewhere, blah blah blah, we don't have a lot of stuff here. Help command parentheses. There's our documentation. Now it did just backtick it. It didn't do it, but I'm going to actually put support for backticks. I got to go add that to Bonzai mark, and I'm going to do that. Now that's yeah. Let me just add an issue for this. Add support for backticks now that embed is preferred. Previously, backticks in Markdown for a document for descriptions would conflict with the multi-line string backticks required for Go, but now that adding such things in description file is preferred, such is no longer needed. Okay, so there's my issue. I need to come back and fix that on Bonzai. All right, so we are good to go here, and we only have 10 minutes left. And I think we're actually going to finish within the hour. So, because the only other thing we really need here is to be able to call our function, right? Now, we really don't need the command. So let's put an underscore there. We also don't have any arguments right now. So we're going to put an underscore there. That means I don't need anything. This kind of signals to the author, we're throwing away this stuff. We still have to have a signature, but it just means I don't care about it, right? If I were taking extra arguments to it, I would put that there, right? I'm not. Right now, I literally just wanted to print that code to make one of these things. And we can do that a number of ways. We could make it be a template. We could make it just be a string. So let's use a string right now. Now, I don't want to put the string right here because it's going to be kind of ugly. So let's go ahead and add a string. Let's add kind of a long, let's actually add a constant string. Now, I'm really being simple here. I'm going to eventually make this a template, but we're just going to make this just for the sake of whatever. We're just going to make it a string. So we're going to say a constant command string, whatever. Command str, it doesn't matter. We're going to use the backtick thing like I was telling you. So backticks in Go mean multi-line strings, right? And then we are generally going to want it to have, you know, we want it to be like good go, right? So let's make sure it has a tab in here. And, you know what I'm saying? So let's do that. And then let's say, set no list, let's turn it back off. All right, so we have one tab, and then what? And then we're going to have, let's do, actually, we can just cut and paste. Let's just do that. That's better. Yeah, 2. So for every one of these, we want to have this. We want to have, you know, help document, and I can just go change it. And this is where the template comes in. So help string, and we want kind of pretty much all of this, right? So let's print all that there. And we can add some more stuff to it. It's a little bit confused though. What is that about? Does it still have that? Okay, good. All right, so wait, what? I'm being overly zealous. There we go. Okay, so why is it getting that? I don't know why it's doing this. It's highlighting that. I don't know that why it's doing that. It's confused. Actually, I think that's my formatter. Anyway, so this will just make CMD, and we'll say command string alias CMD. I mean, these are things we can always change. Summary. We could put here replace. We could put a Bonzai command. Description, we could put help doc. I mean, these are things that can be changed later, but so we're going to do an alias for all this stuff. And I mean, you can probably tell where the aliases are going to be, right? So we can use templates for that. We're going to continue to have that the help. I actually also want to automatically import vars, and I mean, we could make it without the vars and the command, but I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, and X and an args. I mean, you can see the variations of the template, right? So some of them may not. Do you have arguments? Do you have blah, blah? I mean, there's some things I could do to get the different template in here, and right to do. All right, so there we have our command, right? And that's it. I mean, for all intents and purposes right now, that's fine. So I have a problem probably with there's something going on with line 30. Where are we? Line 30. Oh, it's got backticks in it. You can't have backticks in the backticks. Wow, it just blew my mind. I have to have those instead. Double quotes instead. So in Go, you can do double quotes and triple backticks, but you cannot do single quotes. Those are reserved for runes, unlike Python and other languages. So, not terminated. Line 25. Where is that? Can I not put? Oh, no, this should be fine. I wonder if this line is the part that's having problems. Something is having problems. Chemistry not terminated. Constant. I don't know what that's doing. I wonder if it's because of these, because it is Go, you know. I think double quotes has to be, I don't think you can put line returns in there. I think we need to use backticks for this. Well, I mean, that makes it really easy. And it makes me want to use an embed right away. So I'm going to use another embed. Yep. I'm going to do go embed snip. How about this? Templates, we'll say snip slash command dot go. Now, the problem with that is it'll actually build it. So we don't want that. I think we should probably do go TMPL, right? Let's do that. I think that actually might even be a type. I think it is. Yep. Right, let's do that. So make directory snips. I mean, it's already going to be better, right? So command dot go tmpl, and then that way I can set my type. I think tmpl is already set in my types. Let me go check. I don't remember. Let me see. Command go dot tmpl. Nope, it's not. Oh, there it is. Go HTML TMPL. See down here? Yeah, it thinks it's an HTML template, but it's really Go code. Yeah, I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna make a new type for Go TM because I want it to be treated like Go code. Does that make sense? Let's see how crazy it gets. Yeah, this ought to be interesting. Because my editor will freak out because it's like, you're doing Go and you're not doing it right. Go TMPL. Yeah. I just want to see what happens if I do this. So, Golang. Go linter, blah, blah, blah. If it's Go type. Here's my little tricky things there. Go fmt.go vim preleave. Yeah. TMPL. Yeah. Yeah, I want set the type. Let's do if it's Go TMPL. Set it to type Go. I see snippets. I had it before. I had a snippets directory. I definitely want to do a snippets directory again later, but I don't have that right now. So let's see what happens if I open it now. Yay, we get Go code, which is what we want. If I save it, it's gonna yell at me though. It goes like, that's not Go code. You can't do that. Yeah. This is kind of the downside of it, right? So it's like you have to test because it is a Go template snippet. Go template, not the Go literal, not terminate. Say it's giving me the same problem because it actually thinks it's Go code. Actually, you know what though? If it's gonna work. It's gonna work. It's gonna be confused. Yeah. Watch when I take this out, it's not gonna let me out. It's gonna keep adding it back. Yeah, watch. Even when I save it, it's gonna add it back. Watch. Yeah. So I guess you know what? I could probably switch back and forth between Go type. I don't want to do that. No. So we're gonna say move command to command dot tmpl. And I'll just leave it as Go code, as template code. So this is template code. That is apparently a reserved key in templating. That's actually kind of scary. I hope that's turned out to be true. Anyway, so back to what we were doing. Snips. Actually, I could probably change snips to TMPL. And then our cmd.go file, we go back here, and this embed is going to go and do it. Now, I'm going to show you how we can move this someplace else, but in a second. So let's say, go say command tmpl string, and we're just going to, actually all we're going to do is print it. Yep, and we're going to do an FMD print this time because there's no need to truncate the character at the end. We're just going to print it out as is. Now, eventually we're going to have it be a template and we're going to do the whole thing. Actually, let's do that right now. I don't know. Let's just print it. Let's print it right now. And we'll call it command tmpl. Right? I mean, it's eventually going to be a command TMPL, right? So it'll be command. It's not a description. Oh, wait, I did the wrong one. Here we go. Go command TMPL and TMPL. Do we want to write templates here instead of TMPL? TMPL. I mean, TMPL is pretty standard. So anyway, TMPL. All right, so we're just going to print it. So command, we're not going to like build it or anything. We will do that, but not right now. So right now we're going to try our command and try to see what happens. Okay, so CMD, and our pomo's screaming at us. Z pomo stop. And we'll be done with our video for today after this. So bon, and then we do bon tab. Oops. Complete dash C. I haven't added to my bash RC yet, so I just need to add that line to bash RC for completion to always work. Command. Look at that, it works. You know why it worked? Because we have a call and we don't have the help. So we do command help. And there's our help that tells us what it's going to do. In fact, you know what's really cool? Our help can actually load that template. Yeah. That's cool, huh? The help itself can actually include the template and say, here's the template it's going to use. That is really cool. Because people are going to want to see the template and I'm going to see what the code is and they're going to want to view it. We haven't done that yet though. No, we need to do that. We need to add, I might have to add an include support into our help commands. But you can't automatically include another template. It just has to be available. So I actually think I just discovered something I want to add to Bonzai. Would that be to the help? No, that would be to the help function. Issue, let's make another issue. So add support for TMPL detection. Now that we are embedding help docs, it follows that we should be able to include anything from the TMPL directory with some template command, because I don't think that it does that automatically actually. I mean, if I do that, it would have to be in the file system. That actually makes me think we should put all of our help files in the same file system and then just do it that way. Yeah, then we can do help dot whatever and then load or something. Yeah, this is actually getting really cool. That's something I was planning on, but yeah, because that way we could actually have it be, because I need to get it so that those templates are included in the other ones. Right now I'd have to probably put it in there. So, but our, for the sake of our goals, we're done, right? So on command. Now, so let's pretend like I'm making a new, command. I can come in here, right? So I'm actually, oh, that's marked down. So let's do foo.go. We're in here and we've got this program, and we want to add that, right? So bang, bang, bon command or CMD. And there it is. There's my command, right? Now, obviously, the next thing after this is going to be some variation on the CMD command that takes parameters. So maybe we want to have it be like we have it say command and then we say the name. And then the name gets dumped in here. The description is automatically put here. Hey, how's it going? Ascertainment. It's automatically put here. And not only that, but when we do it, when we run it from this location, it actually creates the description directory and starts a help.md file for us, so that we can then go in there and it actually precedes that file with, the whatever command does whatever. And then you just go in there and fill in the comments and you're done. So that's going to make very, very short work of extremely powerful help documentation that comes from the Z command, not from the Z, but from Bonzai, that's built into it. This is by far, I think, the most compelling reason for people to use Bonzai, even above the command completion and stuff, because it has such robust, fantastic travel with the binary help support. And I mean, extremely rich help support. So much so that this idea of keeping your documentation in your command is very, very achievable. And that is not something that people do. People do not stress out that much about. People hate making documentation, to tell you that. They really hate it. But what they hate more is having to write code that has the documentation. It's probably like the single most painful thing any programmer has to do is write the help text, especially if they don't speak native English or something like this. The thing that's so cool about this approach is that your documentation is separate. You're separate. And then you could have people, native English speakers or native whatever, foreign language speakers. In fact, it was brought to my attention yesterday, and we definitely want to do this, that, and we didn't call out to our command. We just called out a print command, but that we could have, if we wanted to, we could have called into our internal library. We could have done this instead, by the way. We could have said stub command or something like that, right? And called into that and then print that. I mean, that goes without saying. So, but somebody reminded me that if you actually put the summaries in another directory, the only thing you have to do to make a project internationalized is change the description directory. So the description directory could be changed and it could be written in another language, and then all of your embedded help documentation becomes the same. Another possibility would be that inside of description, you make a directory called en, and then you put command and help inside of the en directory, and now you've got your English descriptions, and stuff. And I want to call this docs, but the docs directory has already been reserved, so we don't want to do that. And so then you could just do command go, and instead here you would put, embed, whatever. You cannot programmatically change what the embed line says. That would have to be something that you did during code generation, but that would not be hard. I mean, you could do that pretty easily, right? You could make that so that you have en help, and then you just go through your whole thing and change it to include the other one. Or you don't, or you just keep it there and then just swap out the directory, make the directory DASC a different directory, right? And so instead of it being, there's a million ways to do it, but now that you can do embedded files and Go, the dealing with internationalization and command help and stuff like that is a lot easier, and Bonzai just makes it even easier. So I'm super proud of that. I'm super happy with it. I hope you get a chance to try it out for yourself. And but we've been going for an hour here, so I'm going to go ahead and stop. And that's a Bonzai command. Now the last thing to do to put this into my own command. So I have a Z monolith here. Here's my monolith, and I have all of this code in here. I hope I don't have Bon in here already. Do I? Nope, I don't. So in order for me to add it, I just add another line, and I add Bon in here, and I go look up for my composition line. Remember that? There's my shortcuts. I can come over here, and I can say bon.cmd, and now I just do go get-u to go grab it. So because it's going to have to download the package and the latest KEG, of course. I've been working on that a lot. And then it's going. Bonzai is a commander. So, and you can go read about Bonzai over here. So here we go. So now if I do this, if I do go install Z, then my Z command will now have Bon in it. Takes a while to build because it's bigger, and it keeps getting bigger because I keep putting new things in it. That's why it's called a monolith. And I am building it. There's quite a few new libraries that I just imported. All of those have to be recompiled, so that's not too bad though. Zbon tab, and you see all this stuff there. Now, apparently I already had a Bon command, so let me make sure it's the same one. Yeah, there we go. The Bon branches for everything. for everything, for help with the development, use, and discovery of bonsai branches. This is the leftover one from before, which makes me interested because I'm wondering. Oh, you know what it did is because I didn't save it. Yeah, it's still using the other one. Remember we had when we first came here, we had all that stuff on the. We were using that other one. Yeah. So in order to do that, I actually have to. You know what? For it to use my latest one, let me show you how to do that. Go work. Let's add a go work file. Go work in it. Okay, because I did all these changes, but I didn't save them to GitHub. That's why I grabbed the last one that was stored to GitHub. So go work in it. Go work use dot go work use dot dot slash bomb. Now when I go build or go install, it'll actually grab the more recent one. It should anyway. And then when I do Z bomb tab, we get the one we've been working on. So that pulls in the local one that hasn't been committed yet, and so then we can do that. So there's my bonsai that I've been building, and it's probably ready for me to commit. I realized that the other one that I did, that's in my .old directory, is not up to par. It's overusing var and some other stuff, so I'm probably not going to use it. Let's go add some other stuff here. So before we do our development, though, our release, we should probably put some information in here. So I'm going to go ahead and put some ownership information and stuff. So I'm going to do the copyright just cause. So copyright 2022 Rob Mullerstein, and then I can do I think the site is one, right? Site is one, rxrob.tv, I think. I'm trying to remember them all. We'll find out. If we try to compile it, it won't compile. CMD bon. I mean, you can all go read about the bonsai stuff, but all right. So then let's do issues. Oh no, let's do source. The source is git at github.com /rxrob/bond.git, and issues are at https://github.com/rob/bond/issues, and we need a version. So the version hasn't been tagged yet, but this will be version 0.1.0. I'm using semver, but you can use whatever you want. We're missing some colons, some commas. There we go. All right. So this is the main stuff that goes for the top of it now, and when we compile that in, we'll get that in our help. So now we get a legal statement here. Oh, we should probably put our license in there. Let's do a license needs to be official. License is Apache 2, which is the way to show that. Let me see, keg. How did I do? Yeah, license 2.0. Okay, I can do 2.0. All right, let's do 2.0. 2.0. And yeah, so let's rebuild it. Bond. So now we have our legal. We have a bond 1.0 copyright license agreement. We have a place to go to get it. I mean, that looks ready to release, right? So it's got our version. Somebody wants to do our version, they could just do bond version, bond help version. And if you do bond, now we have a default command, so I don't think this will work. Oh, it did. Good. So bond version, and it gives us the version. So, and that's the thing that's in there. You need to keep that in sync with your tag, your git commits. So then let's go ahead and commit it. So let's actually add a README. And READMEs are always hard, because it's like whatever. Actually, no, let's do geoch repo view. I'm going to go cheat and get my bonsai branch stuff. So this is stuff that I had already written. I'm going to just steal it. Yeah. Oopsie. And put that in the README. Damn it. Okay, bonsai utility branch. Yeah. and that's fine. So that's it. That's it. I mean, we really don't need more than that. Oh, well, let's make a release, shall we? All right, so let's go ahead and do that. We'll do the whole thing. So git add. We need all this stuff. We need a license file in here. We don't have a license file. I'm going to cheat because you guys know how to do the license file, right? So I'm going to move the .old license file to here. I'm going to move the .old contributing file to here, which is just standard file I use for everything. Developer certificate of origin, same way that GitLab does their development. And so there, I have a repo that's ready to push. So git add, we're going to add it all. Git commit -m reorg, I guess. Simplify, about that, because I had stuff in there that was already committed. So git push, and we'll see what our tags are. Oh, okay, this was a not committed tag. So as you can see, we need to tag it. So I have a command called tag. This is it. So it tests to see if we're at the latest, and then it does a git tag, and then it pushes the tag to tag it. This is my command for tagging. So command 0.1.0, and that'll give us tags, and tags shows me all the tags. Here's my tags command. Very easy stuff. Just echo local get tag semver sort, get tag ls remote tags, and then PAE, which is a Perl in-place replacement for the semver sort output file. So you can look at that if you want. And so we're good to go. We've already committed. We've got our right tag on there. Now it's time to make a distribution. So we go into the CMD directory, and we go into the Bon directory, at least in my case. And I'm going to use a tool that I've built. I'm just going to show you. You'll have to do it in another video. But it uses a build.yaml file to decide what to build, right? And I'm actually going to cheat and grab the one that I have from Keg already, because I don't want to do it again. This is actually one of the things in my Bon tool that I'd like to do, is just like dump out my build.yaml file so I don't have to go copy it every time. But there's the file. It's just got targets, the OS architectures that are straight out of the Go, dist kind of thing. And let's copy that to here. And so then we have a build.yaml file. And so I can do another command. This is, if you want to go watch about this, you can go to the rdbxrob/good command. But here it is. So go build. I call that goes one of its aliases. And that'll make binaries for everything for the release. You could automatically do this from Git CI/CD if you wanted to, but this is the way I prefer it. So go help, just to give you a sense of it. This is this command. So it's just basically build using the build YAML parameters file. Build help is, here's the help for it. Here's the documentation for it. Again, this is a composable Bonzai branch, which you can put into your own if you want. And that's, I've just put it into my Z. Okay, so now I'm ready to create a GitHub release, and I have all the files necessary to do so. So I do gh release create, and it's going to ask me for this number. I'm going to write my own template notes. I'm going to say changes to simplify, since other stuff factored into RWX rob/good. And good is Go stuff. Is this a pre-release? No. Publish release, yes. And so there we have it. You can actually go to that link and check the release out, but it doesn't have any binaries in it. So let's add the binaries. So gh release upload version 0.1.0 build/star. We're going to upload all of those binaries, and we should be done for the day. It's a little bit over an hour. It's not too long of a video, huh? So let's actually go check it out. Let's go follow this link here. And here is our release. It's available for download. Simplify stuff once factored into RWX. So that has a kind of a study there, and then you can download these if you wanted to. Bone Linux AMD 64. If you really want to test, you probably should. Let's do that. Let's do Bone Linux AMD 64. We'll download it, and I'll go into my downloads directory and try it and see if it works. CD into downloads, and do /bone. Do I have a bone here? I should. What? Did I go into the right place? Mom-CMD64. Show in folder. Oh, it's on Windows. I forgot I'm on Windows. Oh, you know what? Let's add the curl line to our README file. Yeah, that's good. Okay. It happens all the time. People are like, wait, you're not on Windows? You're on Windows. Yeah, I am. So, because I'm streaming. So anyway, we're going to go to, let me, there's some things we need to add to the README actually. This is probably good information. So I'm going to go steal it from my keg file again. So keg README has a section for doing the install. So we're just going to steal this section here. I mean, hell, we could install the entire section. Why don't we install all of it? This is some stuff that might be good to have in all of your things. So let's like flesh this out. Let's flesh this README out. Yeah. All right. So this here is your like, hey, is everything kosher? You know, is it all good? That's your stuff. I actually that's it. I have that in there's a command called Go badges, and so that's a script that I have. It's also now a Bonzai branch. So we put bone here. Make sure these all Bonzai. This Bonzai branch. I'm using lowercase Bonzai from lately. Contains helpers for creating and managing Go stateful command branches in Go. Install. You can just download it using the release. So change this keg word to bon. Change that one to bon. Change that one to bon. Bon. Again, this is a candidate for my utility, right? Because this documentation is just really a template. That's all it is. You might want to create a small script for keg current. No, that's not. That's a different thing. That's a keg thing. So we'll get rid of that. And then if you wanted to compose it in, here's how you would do it. So we'll put bon there. Bon.command, tab completion. Again, this could be so templatized, right? I need to do that. Yeah, embedded documentation, bon help, configuration, map. No, there's no configuration variables, not for this one. So the rest of this stuff. Oh, here, this is actually kind of good. Build and release information using the Google Helper tool. Or as you go, you can go to command keg, command bon, upload tag word. There's the steps to do it. And that's probably good. So let's do go git commit readme-m update readme with install instructions. Install info. How about that? Git push. Don't need to update the tag because that's just a readme. But the reason I do that is I wanted to test it, right? So let's go into /temp so we don't break something, right? Let's go into /temp and let's curl that thing. Yeah. Let's go curl it. We're going to go curl it. I probably have a curl command that does it already. Here we go. So Artifix Raw filter, we did, that's the last video we did. So let's do bon. So bon releases latest download, bon whatever, and we want to call it my bon. And it's going to grab the file and download it. And it's already a binary, but it is not, it has not had its binary stuff. Bon, yes. So now we're going to have to schmox that, which is schmod plus x, bon. Oops, my bon. And then we're going to run my bon. And you see it's got the help. If I do my bon command, it'll just print out the command. And it works, right? So our distribution is done. We can go check our website. This is where we downloaded it from. We can go check the updated README file, simplify, and we have our release over here. We have our tags that are working. These will eventually go to documentation over here. This is the old documentation. So this is not the one that I have now. and it's changed quite a bit. So that's the thing. But that was I'm kind of happy to discover I was already. Here's the instructions for downloading it, like we did, and how to compose it in. If you want to help people to use your new branch, so that we can make branches for each other. And that's really the goal, is to be able to share it, right? Maybe go post that you did this to YouTube or to Twitch, and post your links to your release. And so there. So Go Bonzai stateful command trees. Save changes, I guess. It's kind of a helper utility. I don't know why that's, yeah, whatever. There you go. That's it. That's all there is for me on YouTube. So that's all you're gonna get from me for a while. I'm gonna go ahead and stop streaming that, and go work on some more stuff. But I wanted to have something there for you to see.